used to be. Remember the woman who had like the little bob cut, the alumni who came talk this week?
The little bob cut.
She was our old philanthropy, like the nonprofit she started.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even realize say that because we had a guest in here. Nobody's even.
What does being authentic mean to you?
I think being authentic is something that I don't feel a lot of control in. I feel like people pull it out of me a lot of the time.
Not altering who I am, my values, my beliefs, the way that I act, the way that I portray like who I am to other people.
You know, people, they want to be a certain thing. They're like, oh, that's so blank core. I think being yourself is like actually going out and doing that.
I mean, I try to present myself as authentically as possible, but I feel like certain spaces allow me to be authentic.
Because like, I get that a lot where people are like, oh, you're so yourself, you're so you. I'm like, I just do what's in my fucking head.
Knowing that who I am is special to me and not changing that to fit a mold that I think that the world wants to see.
Has your sense of identity changed over time? If so, how?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I honestly think like because of Maggie's, my identity changed because I saw myself as being very, I guess shy would be the word to use.
Yeah, it has a lot.
My sense of identity has definitely changed a lot, especially over the last 2 or so years.
Before this year, I was just working and doing like community college. I don't really know a lot of people.
I grew up as a person in a small town as a person with a very big personality. I lessened myself. I lessened my personality, who I was, my heart for others for a long time because it was too much.
When I was making a new friend, and I'm still kind of like this, I try to like mold myself into someone that they will want and they will want to talk to.
Over the last few years, I've really taken the time to understand why I am the way that I am.
Thankfully, since coming to college, I think I've become so much more confident.
But now that I actually have the opportunity to, like, I don't shut my mouth.
That if somebody doesn't want, like, me, like, who I feel my identity is, I don't have to give them something they want. Like, they can take me as I am, or they can just not have me.
It's wearing my own shoes, like, being who I am and not apologizing for it has been very transformative for me.
Do you feel like you're the same person in every situation, or do you adapt based on where you are and who you're with?
I'm definitely not 100% the same in every situation.
I definitely adapt.
I wish I could say that I was a little bit different in some situations. The difficult part about like being yourself is that sometimes like, oh girl, you gotta shut up. Oh, you gotta stop talking. Like, what are you talking about?
I had a really good friend. She's still one of my best friends. I remember in junior high, like, she had another friend group and I would get so mad. I was like, Sydney, you are not acting the same way you act around me when you're with them. And it makes me, I was like, why? Why are you acting differently?
Changing maybe like the way that I approach situations definitely is different based on who I'm with or what I'm doing.
I remember my mom being like, it's not a bad thing to kind of change when you're with certain people because certain people make you feel different ways.
I definitely am like very much just who I am.
I keep all of the important values of who I am the same around everyone. I never change that.
My morals stay the same and like who I am at my core stays the same, but maybe I present myself a little differently in different situations.
I don't know. Sometimes people are like, wait, real recognize real, and they mess with you. So, yeah, unfortunately, no.
Where or with whom do you feel the strongest sense of belonging?
Oh, that's a cute question.
I'm very, very lucky that I live a life where I feel like I can be who I am and comfortable and genuine around most people.
I think I'm very blessed to have so many outlets where I feel safe and like comfortable.
Oh my God, corny ass answer, but like my boyfriend.
But I do love my roommates.
I think like the first thing that comes to mind is just like at home with my family.
I'm gonna tie this into the sonder thing. Over winter break, I went to this hotel in Chicago called the Sonder.
Like sitting in the car with my brother is when I feel like the happiest and just like at like really like at peace with like every version of myself because he's kind of been there for every version of me.
I can say anything around them. If it's not something that's normally tacked to my character, they're not gonna tack it to my character.
There's just so many different kinds of people and everyone there was so nice and so welcoming. Being in Chicago, like I felt normal and I liked that.
I have people I met a year ago that I didn't even have on my radar that make me feel like I'm 10 again.
Having the space to not have to filter what I say has been really, really magical.
I guess my answer, short answer, TLDR, would be Jacob in Chicago.
There we go. Have you ever struggled to find a place where you truly belong? What was that experience like?
Good grief, of course I had.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, like my entire life kind of felt like that.
Growing up in like a small and conservative town that's very closed-minded is so hard whenever you do not align with those values in the slightest.
When I was in junior high, I moved around schools. My mom was a teacher, and I went to a new junior high on like opposite side of town, very different demographic of people.
I guess just from a young age, I've always felt like kind of different in that way.
It's just hard seeing so much of like what you don't want to be.
I was just also around people who had different life experience than me, and like I didn't understand that. I was 11.
I guess a more recent thing would be like Maggies. I kind of had a hard time finding my place.
Going through that as a teenager and like a young woman was so strange.
I don't know that that was the best time for me to like also try to figure out how to make new friends.
Maggies really pushed me out there. There's so many like amazing people that I just didn't talk to. Like even talking to you like recently.
I think it's given me a really cool perspective on like people coming from different places and like just finding people who share your values.
If you could give advice to someone searching for belonging, what would you tell them?
Again, put yourself out there.
This is so corny. Be yourself.
Go where you are wanted and where you feel wanted.
My mom always said, my give a damn's busted. The second I started being who I wanted to be is whenever I started to fall into place with the people who truly aligned with who I was and like truly understood me and valued me, and I value them.
It sounds like so basic, but when you try to change yourself to fit into spaces that don't want you, like you're not being yourself, you're not belonging.
Let people know that you want to be friends with people. Don't put a wall up. Don't have these like preconceived notions of other people like, oh, they're not gonna like me, because you really do not know.
Bust that give a damn. Bust that give a damn and be who you are. Nobody cares more than you care.
Go find your place. Like there's however a billion people on planet Earth. Like there's gonna be at least one person you fuck with. Like swear to God.
Can you tell everybody your name?
My name's Maddie.
Gracie Dolan.
Marley Matarazzo.
All right, thanks, Marley.